We're back today with another kind of deck profile breakdown with the whole team of Team TFM discussing Sapphire Amethyst, the deck that Scott Landis and Dick Burns played in Bologna. Scott ended up going 5-3. Dick dropped at 3-3. Their lists were drastically different. I believe they were like 5 or 8 cards different, maybe even more. But all in all, it is one of those lists that we feel is popular. We feel having this open conversation, kind of talking about it amongst each other, maybe can give you some insight into set championships and kind of like the choices that you're making leading into the next few weeks, trying to win a playmat, or if you're attending DLC Milwaukee. With that, let's get into it. So, Scott, if you want to start us out and just like talk to us why we decided on Sapphire Amethyst, be my guest.
I mean, I wrote it up in my report, but it has the highest card quality, in my opinion, of the decks. It doesn't have... I mean, I didn't think it had that many terrible matchups. It doesn't have that many terrible matchups, in my opinion. And it just fits, in my opinion, to, like, how I want to play the game. I played 2 dogs that I lost to. I played 1 Sapphire Emerald that I lost to. I beat the Mirror, what's left, like 3 or 4 times, and then I beat Amber Steel. I was on the draw most of the day. And I still think, like, overall, it's, like, in a vacuum, it's still the strongest deck. There's just card selections that you can make differently. I think if you hit what you need, like, it's most important that you hit what you need in order more than it is, like, any one specific deck, like, card that you have. That's why the decks are so varied with each other, because really all that matters is hitting, like, a good 1, the ramp, a good 4, Elsa, etc., whatever you do on 6 to control the board, into Hades to continue to control the board in the late game, draw cards, etc. So, like, to me, the individual card selections are not as important as hitting what you actually need to hit and then having enough of a late game presence to maintain board control from there. And I just think this deck has the strongest cards to do that. There's just certain, when you play the deck, obviously, there's just certain, like, little tests that you have to pass. Like, did you hit ramp? Did you hit your 4-drop, etc.? Did you hit your on your curve, and did you draw cards, etc.? So, I said, like, what I would change going forward is I don't think you need as much of the search. I do like the card draw. I don't know that you need all 4 card draw that I played, but you can. I don't think Iago is very good. I would definitely play Kita in those Iago slots and try to find room for a 4th.
You don't think Iago is very good?
No.
I think he's like the only... How many mirrors did you end up playing? 3?
Yeah, he was irrelevant.
Irrelevant. Gosh, that's insane.
Yeah.
Because second star is the only thing that ended up mattering?
Yeah, and Basil.
Yeah, okay. Did you play 4 Basil?
Yeah.
Okay. I see a lot of lists with 3 and 3. I think that's just wrong.
Yeah.
It should just be 4 and 2.
I still think there's an argument that you could play Royal Guard over Rafiki, but I understand the reason why. But in my opinion, like, it's very niche situations. Like, to me, in most situations, they do the same thing. I understand that Rafiki takes out, like, Nala, and Rafiki takes out, like, the O3 Lady and things like that without having to have any cards. But, like, Rafiki lines up really poorly against Daisy because you swing into her, do 3, and then she swings back into you and kills you, and you didn't kill her.
Right.
Whereas, like, Royal Guard in a similar situation, like, if you sail and get into 3 power, you will take out the Daisy. So, like, I need to see how many situations one is actually better than the other. So there's an argument there. Yeah, that's the main thing for me. Like, the Elephant was good, but I think you could probably get away with only running 2 of them. But I did like it a lot. I did like dropping it as almost like a... As long as I had a TiVo or a 1-drop and I didn't need the Basil in that situation, like, it was basically like just a giant body that they had to deal with. And and obviously in the late game you get to recur like all your stuff. But that's where I wanted to test out magical maneuvers as well, because like just bouncing a Hades and replaying it for 9 and exerting something is also really good. Even though I know some people haven't liked that card in other decks, I think just the ability to bounce is really good there. I don't. I read the whole article by Fred Carson on Develop Your Brain. Like, I don't. I get what he was saying, but I don't think you really need them per se. And I know he was saying just run the 9th ramp anyway over the develop. I think was the conclusion that the article made.
Yep.
But like, I don't think you need. Like, I would definitely run like. I would still run like 1 visions or 2 visions at most just to find the 2nd star, for example. But like, I don't think you need the develops. I think it's just a crutch that like you never really want to use most of the time anyway. So I think that was just a crutch in my opinion. Like anytime I was forcing, like with the Yago conversation, anytime I felt like I was forced to play it, they had an answer. And I was forced to play it because it was if it survived, it was going to dominate the board, and it never did because it just got killed all the time. Whether it was improvised, whether it was that card you have in your hand, or like one fire the cannons, or like, and obviously like if they just straight the raging fire, like it's not like it's willpower is irrelevant. So like I would just rather run Kita in that spot because I just feel like I said, like I won almost all my games like on turn 1,000 questing for like 1,000,000 twice in a row. So like I'd rather have a card that just like did something more actively on turn 4 than like I'll only rush out there and get some lore, like, you know. So I'd rather have the card that lets me, you know, get like helps my draw and then gets me another resource, etc. So I think that's a smart idea. I also thought the Ursulas that Dick ran were good. I thought the Elsa that Dick ran was good, but it would definitely help in the Sapphire Emerald matchup. But I don't know that is like you're unfavored in most of those matchups anyway. I think the reason I lost the Sapphire Emerald is because I was just out of practice and didn't play it. I didn't play it correctly. To be honest with you.
I found that matchup to be play draw. The Sapphire deck, Emerald deck, I think likes to go first, but I guess every deck does.
I mean, I went for a win like that if he didn't have 2 cards in his hand that were ahead of the hand Subtle Eye and Under the Sea, I would have been fine. And he had 2 cards in hand, and there was those 2 cards. But like, I didn't need to play out the Elsa. I could have just won in 2 turns instead of 3 turns. I did the math like a million times, and I think I still would have been in a bad situation, but I didn't need to rush the whole situation. I don't think you need more than one Elsa.
I think the key for that matchup is you need to ramp twice. Like, you can almost ignore your 4-drop most of the time. Just ramp twice on them.
I mean, Kita will allow you to ramp twice too, though, so there's another argument for that.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of times people just like slam their genie and you're just like, well, you've lost the game then.
Yeah, that's fair. So,
were you always going to play Sapphire Amethyst?
Me?
Like when you,
I didn't think I had enough time to learn how to play dogs, and the matches I saw play against Amber Steel just didn't really impress me on the practice, and so I knew that I couldn't like learn enough of it to like. And I know I would have done poorly with the deck because I would have forced too much action to happen, and I wouldn't have been patient enough to like wait for my opportunities. So, I mean, and I didn't think Amethyst Steel was good enough. I might be wrong about that, but I thought like given a similar situation between Amethyst Steel and Amethyst Sapphire, the Amethyst Sapphire was just a better deck. And I don't really like the way that Emerald Sapphire plays all that much because it's too dependent on certain cards also, but I don't think it's much different than playing this. But like, I think all the decks basically you need certain things to go right, and like, I thought this needed. I think as long as you pass the test in this one, I think it was fine.
Yeah, I consider it on rails. If you have ramp, if you have 4-drop, if you have 5-drop. Did you play TikTok?
Yeah, 2 of them.
How was TikTok?
he's another card that once he's on the table just dominates the board. It's not very much different than like an elephant, but it's evasive. But like especially in the mirror or other things, like the game just stops. Like you get a guy that can quest all the time, and then like, they have to run 1,000 guys into it. It really helps your bells, like etc. You can make the argument that like it doesn't quote do a whole lot, but it does a whole lot to just like stop the game. So like I don't think there's a better card in that slot if you feel like running out a 6-drop as opposed to just like controlling the board on 6. Like most of the time, I'd rather just like bell and ramp or something like that a lot of times.
Yeah.
But like
So
it doesn't mean it's a bad card.
I agree. TikTok is a must answer card. And the reason I am down on TikTok is because on the draw, he gets Hades on curve. Which, like, yes, they're ramping me, but then, like, what? So I can now Hades their Hades, which is what I was going to do anyway. So, like, I've been kind of down on TikTok, and I've been wondering if we should just be, like, theoretically going from 5 to 7 with, like, Donald and Kita. Like, Kita, I guess, is you play it on 4, but the effect goes off on 5 or whatever, turn 4, because we ramped on 2. And then, like, we're just playing 7 drops.
I mean, Donald seems awful to me. I don't know what other 7-drops you would play.
I guess it's
like,
just the same.
I don't know what you would play otherwise.
We're just, like, skipping the 6-drop, which was just TikTok.
I mean, theoretically, that just opens you up to any particular thing. It doesn't even have to be a 7, for what it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there's nothing better to put there. Like,
yeah,
not better. I want to play. I think I want to try Mufasa. If we're playing Kita.
That's actually.
Then we can get the cards back.
That's like actually hilarious. You get to like choose which cards are in your inkwell.
Yeah, and then try and get them back.
The one thing I'll say about the Mufasa in particular is I thought Jeremy spoke really well about this. Is just that there's no other card in the game that you can pay 8 for that draws you 2 cards and becomes a way to literally win you the game. It makes the Hades that you T-po'd on turn 2 like a better odds to draw the Hades out of your inkwell than in your own deck. Obviously, that's true for any of the high-level cards you ink. So, I think it's certainly interesting, but I also don't know like the potential impact of if you play this card and they remove it right away, like you went down on resources. So, like, what does that do to your gameplay as well? Tough to say.
That could be another world though, where you're like actually ramping 2 or 3 times in a game,
Mm-hmm.
and then getting cards back, and then like if they, like, what's the best way to deal with it? Hades?
Yeah, it's just another card that has to get.
You just get the ink back anyway.
Yeah. It's certainly that's all that it is, right? But like, if it doesn't get Hades, you might just win the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if it goes off, right, you just win the game in every matchup.
I don't see how you lose. Yeah. If you tell me I get to ink, play Hades, banish their best character, quest, ready all my resources, and then like do anything else, like I don't know how you ever lose in a format without being prepared.
I'm saying. This is why I'm like, do we just go hard at that? Because like every deck that's not Sapphire Amethyst can't deal with this.
Emerald has a few more answers, but yeah.
I guess that's true. They can. You're welcome.
Yeah, or the Wombo combo.
Yeah. The hope and the dream.
Talk to me about the whale. Is the whale good?
It's fine. I mean, it's fine. I don't think there's, again, it's another one of these, like, I don't know that there's a better card.
Definitely
Like, it's really good with second star. Like,
need it though, right? Like,
I
it's
mean,
uncuttable.
I don't know that it's uncuttable. Like, I mean, like, it did what it needed to do where, like, it killed multiple guys and, like, if I pitched a card or whatever, but, like, it's not card advantage. Like, it's just card parity with, like, a guy that, like, he was actually really good in the mirror where I could just, like, play him and, like swing, like, quest, pitch a card to have him be ready. Like, and he was just a continuous threat, like another, like, really good threat. I wouldn't say he's, like, he was fine. He was, like, again, like, I don't think there's a better card that you can run in that slot, especially because he's inkable. I inked him a lot, obviously, all day. I mean, he cost $1 million, so.
How often did you find him like board wiping versus just kind of hitting once or questing and readying?
If I had second star before I played him, he was board wiping. If not, it was like this is why I would always run second star over. He's the main reason why I would run second star over. What's it called?
Dig.
Because you need the card. Yeah, because you need the cards.
Did you find yourself actually making that play where you're like, oh shit, if I draw 5 cards here and one of them's monster, I just win?
I mean,
or did you like
sort of? I guess
having Monstro and just got there.
Like, he was just another giant threat that you got off the second star, and like then you had the cards that you could pitch to them. But it wasn't like I need to wipe the board here with Monstro type situation.
Okay.
Like I kept the board relatively clear.
I know in Denver I ran into that playing against it several times where like they were forced to sing it to find it, and it's like, but if they find it, it's just lights out.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, he's fine. I think for what he does, there's no better card in the format that you can play. But and the fact that he's inkable is really good. I'm not positive the else is necessary, but I do think there were definitely situations where if I had shifted her, I would have won the game. So, like, it's hard to have another card that literally just wins you the game when you play it, and she can just win you the game when you play it. But if you want to say that's an Ursula, I'd be fine with that.
3 hypnotic strength.
3 of those was enough, but 4 would have been fine also.
Interesting.
It really helps your, like, you know, it really helps you save your Hades by, like, playing an Elsa and then hypnotic strength and killing something instead of, like, just using a Hades. I won most of my games by basically at the, like, when there were, like, very few cards in hand, I had more Hades than my opponents.
Sure.
And I lost games by not keeping my removal for untapped guys, like, available to me when I should have. Like, trying to play it as a tempo deck instead of trying to play it as a straight out control deck, like, lost me a match. Whereas if I would have just played it as a straight control deck where I always had this giant threat, it would have been better. So that's just how I played it. And hypnotic strength helps you do that. So does Basil. So
How about Finders Keepers?
I only played it once. Like, again,
All
it's
weekend?
inkable. Like, I think so, yeah. I inked it most of the time. Or I played second star. Like, I only drew it in a situation where it mattered, like, once. It's fine. Like, again, like, it's inkable and does what you want to do. Like, so...
I mean,
I won a match where I only Finders Keeper once and my opponent, like, second starred once, for example, so... But the fact that it's inkable helps, in my opinion.
Gosh, yeah. I'd take any other card that read draw a card.
Yeah.
Do we ever play Yzma in
Nothing
this
better.
deck?
No.
No, you're never that low on cards.
Okay.
Seems unrealistic. Fun thought, though.
I mean, it probably is.
Yeah.
Domo's insane. He's $90 to $100 for a reason. I don't know what to tell you.
Absolutely correct.
Like,
For sure. All right, so I think after reading brilliant Brian Carson article, 9 ramp is 100% correct. We're saying we want to cut Iago for Kitas.
I think it'd be 3 Iago and an elephant, right? For the 4 Kitas.
As it stands right now, but I also don't want the 2 developed, so I mean, there's also that room too.
Well, the develop is already one. There's already developed there, so technically that's also potentially room. To where you can just say that like these Iagos turn into Kitas.
Yeah.
And that's just like your even trade. We think TikTok is still fine, but like if we're not playing TikTok, like what can we try in that position?
It would be like Ursula, in my opinion.
Okay, I don't hate that. The guy had 2 Ursulas in his winning deck, right? If I remember correctly, so it's not even like it's that crazy of a concept.
He had no search though, like he had no visions.
Yeah, I think that you called develop a crutch. I think visions is also a crutch. But I understand the purpose of it.
It's to find second star, is what it is.
I just think that like all of these things are like just play a card that impacts the game. Like it's the same in my opinion. If that's the argument of like playing a second star, then just like play the 3rd second star in your deck.
Wasn't it that most of your cards are not necessarily 2-for-1s? Right, like a lot of your things are just 1-for-1 removals, and like they leave a body. So like having
that's 2
cards is actually
that's 2 for 1 then, right?
if you get the challenges off, right? Like yeah. Like just having more cards in those situations versus having the perfect card is often better.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I would probably go to this 4th hypnotic like you were saying, and then like I don't know. Obviously, there's a world where there's other options, but that's kind of like how I'm starting to see it.
Mufasa, we talked about
like
that.
Like obviously you can do it. It's just a matter of how many uninkles you want to play, and because
now you're at a lot of things.
like this is a one jump, so that's
It's
uninkable.
13 uninkles, I think.
Right. It's like I think I was at 11, and then this is these are inkable. This is inkable. These are inkable. So it just is one jump and a potential 3rd second star. But like this can just stay this if you're worried about that, and you stay at 12.
You still have Tipo, like.
Yeah. Obviously, you have Tipo, you have Kita. Like this is also a filter for uninkables, which is relevant. So like, maybe if you really want to try the Mufasa out, like you just put that over there and stay around this. I think that this card is like I think Finders Keepers is a trap. I just find it like in the majority of your games to pay 5 to draw 3 cards. Man, that feels just so unreasonable. And like if you told me that you played it literally once in 8 rounds, then the argument's not about if it's inkable. Like you play this once in 8 rounds of cards, this card is probably not correct. That would be my guess. Because like,
did you ever shift the Elsa?
What?
What about Elsa?
Did you ever shift Elsa?
I had a lot of times where I could have, but I just didn't because I had the ink. So why do it at that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, my argument would be like the amount of times that you inked Finders Keepers. If this was like another card, how much more relevant would it have been, rather than the one time you played Finders Keepers? That's kind of where I'm at with this card.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, I Dumboed more times than I Finders Keepers. That was the whole point.
Yeah, I mean, Dumbo's ridiculous. There's no debate about that.
Maneuvers.
Yeah, I mean, like this could just be the maneuvers. In all honesty, like I will say that like we were playing it in Amethyst Steel, and the cards that you pick up in Amethyst Steel are like way more specific. Where like this deck just picks up like everything that's fire, which is kind of great.
Yeah, that was my thought.
So like,
I always like it like similar to Elephant, where it just picks up your shitty 1 or 2 drop and you can ink it.
Yeah, but on 7 again, if you don't want to waste a Hades, you pick up a bell and reuse a bell. That's a lot of value in aggro matchups.
Sure.
It's definitely kind of stupid. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's just like the answer. This is just a maneuvers or whatever. I don't really know where to put it because it's its own thing. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 cards. It's a pretty sufficient amount of the deck to change, but I definitely think it's a step in the right direction over the next few weeks.
But I will say the cards you have face up on the table win you 90% of your games. So
100%. I totally agree with that.
I
think that's really just the factor of the format of, like you said, that these cards are just that good. So in most cases, the other cards are just like they're just filler, for sure. I agree to that.
So I'd rather they be helping those cards succeed than being like tech cards, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else for Scott?